Good morning, Year 4, and welcome to Friday's lesson. We finished with data handling and we're moving on to angles to do a bit of work on that for the next couple of lessons. So I'll share my screen with you and we can get started. So our work today is to understand turns and angles. Mental maths, again, this morning I've decided to stick with the 6 times tables. So have a go at doing as many of those as you can. Again, if you want to give yourself a 3-minute timer and just write down the answers, not the sums, on a piece of paper and see if you've improved your score or time from yesterday. Now, we are looking at turns and angles. So let's get started. So an angle is where 2 lines meet at a point. So here, if you look, these 2 lines don't meet, so that wouldn't be an angle. These 2 lines don't meet, so that wouldn't be an angle. These 2 lines are meeting in a point here, so that would be an angle. So have a look at the 3 other pictures, and it says which pictures show at least 1 angle. Tick your answer. So if you're doing it on a piece of paper, I would just number these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and tell me which ones have angles. Question 2 says the arrows are being turned clockwise. Match the picture to the turn. So clockwise just means going this way. This way. Turning to the right, as a clock would go. It says match the picture to the turn. So if you look, this is the arrow and it's turned this way. So is that half a turn, a quarter of a turn, a full turn, or 3/4 of a turn? Which one's this? This has gone from that to that, and this has gone from that to that. I just want to show you something quickly. This is a clock, okay, and you had a line there, okay. Sorry, just 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to just show you. Okay, if the hand on a clock moves from there to there, that is a quarter turn because it's turned a quarter of the clock. If the line moves from there to down here, that is half a turn because it's moved halfway around the clock. If the hand on a clock moves from here to here, that's 3/4 of a turn because it's gone 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. Okay? And if the hand on a clock moves from here and ends up back here, that's a full turn. So think of it in terms of a clock: 1/4, a half, 3/4, 1 whole. So when you're thinking about this question, that should help you with that. Now, here is a compass. So a compass has north, east, south, west, and tells you what direction to go in. I always remember north, east, south, west by naughty elephants squirt water. So Aisha is facing north, so she's facing this way. She turns a quarter turn clockwise. So clockwise means she's going this way and she's turning 1/4. So think what 1/4 of a clock is. What direction would she be facing now? Tommy is facing north. He turns a quarter anti-clockwise. Anti-clockwise just means the opposite direction of a clock. So that would mean this way. So if he turns 1/4 this way, which way would he be facing? And then it says Annie is facing east. So Annie's facing this way now. And she turns 3/4 of a turn clockwise. So she's going to go around this way, but she's going 3/4. quarters. Which way is she facing now? If you want to stand up and physically do it to help you, that's fine. It says Mo and Eva are answering a question. Mr. Lee is facing west. He turns half a turn. What direction is he facing now? Mo said, I cannot answer this because we don't know the direction he is turning. It does not matter about the direction, said Eva. So Mr. Lee is facing west and he turns a half a turn. So he's facing west, he's turning half a turn, but we don't know if he's doing half a turn this way, or we don't know if he's doing half a turn this way. So think about in which direction would Mr. Lee end up? Do you agree with Mo or do you agree with Eva, and why? And then the second part to this, let's make this a bit bigger for you, is Esther and Brett are showing what time it will be in a quarter of an hour. Here is the time. Here are their answers. Who is correct? So this is the time. What will the time be in a quarter of an hour? You don't need to necessarily know how to tell the time to answer this. You're just moving this hand here that's facing the 12, 1/4 of the clock. So this is the minute hand and this is the hour hand, but we're going to be moving this minute hand 1/4 around the clock, which would be correct. It says draw hands on the clocks to show the new times. Now, if you're doing it on paper, not on the sheet, you can just draw the clock out and by using the hand. So it says here, if we look, the minute hand is the short hand and the hour hand is the long hand. Draw hands on the clock to show the new times. It's half an hour later, half an hour. So that's going to be half of the clock. So not the hour hand, but the minute hand. Move the minute hand half of the clock. Then here you've got the minute hand on the 6th. It says a quarter of an hour later. So you're going to move the minute hand 1/4 of the clock and draw it out. So it doesn't matter if you can't tell the time. It's about knowing what half a clock is, what a quarter of a clock is, and what 3/4 of a clock is. And then here it says 3/4 of an hour later. So here is the minute hand, move it 3/4 of the clock. And then here it says this is half an hour later. Can you draw what it was before? And then on question 7, it says a figure skater is facing the direction shown. So a figure skater is like an ice dancer. So here they're facing this way. She turns a quarter of a turn clockwise. So remember, clockwise is this way, just 1/4 of a turn, and then turns 3/4 of a turn clockwise. Draw on the picture where she ends up facing. Sorry, draw on the picture to show that she ends up facing the same way she started. What other turns can she make and so end up facing the same way? Now, this page, you don't all have to do. You can just have a go if you want, because it's a bit trickier. But I definitely want you to do all up to question 6, okay? Just remember what I showed you on here. Just think of a clock. 1/4 would take you to here. 2/4 or a half would take you to here. 3/4 would take you to here. Sorry, to here. And a full turn will take you back. So it's imagining that your clock is split into quarters. Okay, 1/4, 2/4, also known as half the clock, 3/4, and a whole. So use that to help you. Okay, if you have any problems, message on the blog. If not, have a great weekend, and I'll see you for your last lesson online on Monday, and then you're back on Tuesday, guys. Have a lovely weekend. Bye.